All right, here we are with another episode of From Freaking Light of Day. And I was incorrect about my theory about Fatima. Or no, I'm sorry, not Fatima, but Julie in the picture. I thought for sure we're going to see like hell and all kinds of crazy shit in that picture that Elgin took over. We didn't see anything. And the picture that Elgin took of Fatima, I was like, oh shit, here we go. Here we go. And we get to see that picture, I paused it. And I'm like, I got like my magnifying glass. You don't see nothing. You kind of do. I mean, you see the kimono chick, but like she's like slowly coming in. Then she comes out and talks to Elgin, but you don't really see anything. I really thought we were going to see something cool. And I also looked at the other pictures that he showed up there. Like we see one of Donna. We see one of I think Henry. That's who that was. But I didn't see anything cool in any of the pictures. I was really trying to comb through them.
I knew eventually that they would come into play. But yeah, man, you're jumping way towards the end.
Yeah, this was up there. I just wanted to, because I said I really thought that was going to be a big reveal this episode. And I was let down, very much let down. So this episode, it opens up. Another thing I was wrong about, it opens up.
Yeah, nothing, Jim. Not a damn thing happened the next night, huh?
Yeah, nothing happened. That's another thing I said is like, everything's going to be chaos. Shit's going to happen.
No,
There's something wrong with Randall.
Yeah, you're intent. Randall was going to be going off because he was possessed by something.
Yeah.
Night fell and
I was way off.
Yeah,
I was way off.
The only thing we have is Jim and Tabitha bitching and moaning to each other.
Yeah, exactly. And I loved Jim's comment.
What you want is for me to read your mind. So I can say to you whatever you want to hear at any given time.
I think that every day. When it comes to my wife, I'm like, she just expects me to know what she's thinking. It kind of makes sense.
That's pretty much any couple, though. Yeah.
But after the opening, Tabitha says that Jim went back to gather food. So I was like, oh shit, here we go. He went back to town to get some food, and then that's all we hear. I'm like, man, we get nothing else about Jim going to that little village.
Which is going to be interesting because Tabitha's going, but we're not there yet. So, they start fighting, and of course it's loud. The kids are going to hear it. And then we start the next morning. Jade is talking to Boyd about all this exciting shit that he's found from the bottle tree. And then Boyd's like, well, what about the other one? Jade, and of course the communication in this place is so great. And Jade's like, what the fuck?
I know.
There's another one and nobody told me.
One? But how does Boyd even know where it's at? Because maybe I'm incorrect. Because isn't that whenever they were him and Sarah was in that tent and they got dragged away and then they found the bottle tree after they got dragged away?
That I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch. That was friggin' season 1, dude?
It was. If you're... Put in the comments. Am I right on that? Is that whenever they got dragged away in the tent?
They found, because once they saw the lighthouse and everything, they found their way back to that tent because they call it the...
yeah, but then where's the spiders? I mean, we've never seen the spiders again.
Like many of things in this show, they bring it up and then just move on. But yeah, they know where that tent is. So, of course, he's going to... And they found their way back to the town, so they know their way there.
But I do like Jade's thoughts, how this is like a wormhole or a dimensional rift. And Boyd's like, you said you had something really cool or really interesting to tell me. Yeah. This isn't cool? This isn't interesting? So that was pretty funny.
And then, of course, we got Victor wanting to go on his quest for Jasper. And he doesn't want his dad to come with him because he's scared that he'll get hurt. But he's like, oh, you can come walk with me. Of course he's gonna go in.
Yeah, of course he is. Yeah.
And then,
I really thought we were gonna see more whether in the tunnels. I really did. I thought he was gonna die too. I thought Henry was gonna die.
I didn't think that. Why go to all this length to bring this special character in just to off him in 2 episodes? Oh, then we break to Kenny, and he's all bummed because his mom's gone. And he's just kind of wandering aimlessly, helping out at the clinic. And that's when we find out there was an ultrasound machine. Or do we learn then? No, or it's a little bit later. Because Boyd comes up to check on Randall. And of course, he doesn't want Randall to know. So when he's leaving, he tells Christy, don't tell him he was here. And that's when we find out about the ultrasound machine, and she wants Fatima to come get an ultrasound.
Which also turned out to be lackluster.
I think that's a misdirection, but we come to Donna kind of burying Dale in the pool. So, and then we get Boyd going to tell Fatima and Ellis about the ultrasound machine, and they break the news about her diet, her special diet.
I know, and you could look in Boyd's face. He's like, "Oh, she's fucked." You could he's like, "Oh, this shit's crazy."
Did you notice when Ellis was saying the look that Boyd gave Ellis after Ellis said, "So it doesn't have to mean that there's something wrong with the baby," and then he just gives this quick side-eyed look, and that just said, you stupid motherfucker.
Yeah, that look says it all. I just started laughing after that scene because I was like, my God, that baby is so fucked right now. He's like, no, the baby's fine, right, Dad? Dad, please tell me the baby's fine. He's like, if you don't know this baby's not fucked up, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I was rolling, man. That was
pretty funny
as hell. But yeah, so Boyd leaves. He tells him about the ultrasound, and then they're like, "Oh, okay." And as he leaves the room, and shuts the door, he's like, he knows something's fucked off. Something's wrong. Oh, Randall. Which still, man,
we see Randall's face.
Yeah, he makes Marielle show him his scars.
You want to know how I got these scars?
Yeah, it looks pretty messed up. Like, why? Why did they do that to his face? Like, what was the point? Just to show it so everyone can see him and know that they are out there still in the daytime? Kind of like what Boyd said last episode?
it's because, didn't Boyd already say that? So it's a reminder during the day, too?
Yeah, that's what he said last episode. But still, I feel like there's more to it than just that. Maybe to install some friction between Boyd and Randall.
Well, I still think that that's part of it. Because, the first thing after they bring him in, Randall's yelling at Boyd saying it's his fault. And doing it in front of everybody. There's some division there. And after this, Randall isn't as solitary as he was. He's realizing he can't do this on his own. And later on, we find out he's scared being in the bus by himself.
I mean, I would be too. I can't go lie. I would be too.
And then after Marielle asks him to move into the clinic, after she takes off, you can see the emotion on his face. He's like, people care. I don't know. He was kind of a lone wolf, and he didn't.
No, I think you read that. I think you read that incorrectly. I feel like they were banging, like before they got to the town, like those two were banging, and then whenever she said, "Hey, you can stay with me and Christy."
Menage a trois?
No.
I think he's got. I don't know, man. That's what it looked like to me.
No, not at all.
Do you not think that those two were banging though, on like before they got to the town? No, that's what he said.
Whatever happened to us, it wasn't.
What? It wasn't real?
Because she gets to lay down with somebody at night. He says he's by himself.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like they were together before they got to the town. I really do. I'll have to rewatch the episode again and or at least that part again and see. Let us know what you think in the comments. Is Randall and Marielle together before they got to the town?
And it could be just a late idea the writers had was to do this that you're talking about, and then Marielle end up getting with Randall, and then Christy ends up getting back with Kenny. Because Kenny's feeling isolated now. He's lost Christy. He's lost both his parents. He's feeling like the outcast that Randall was. He's taken that place and then wants to end up going to the colony house.
Yeah, he wants to go back to the colony house, which what he asked Donna, I thought was pretty funny. You're not having no more sex parties, are you? She's like, shut up.
Speaking of Kenny, because right after Randall sees the scars, Kenny busts Julia outside blazing. And then that's when because he's looking for something of his mom's, looking for the junk drawer. And then, of course, Jim had to move shit around. So that makes him feel even more like an outcast in his own home and lost without his parents. So that's probably the straw that broke the camel's back and pushed him to wanting to go to the colony house.
I do like that we didn't have Jim for like only the beginning of the episode. He was out the rest of the episode. He really annoys me. He really does.
Yeah, his character has taken such a turn from the first season, where he was more logical and I don't know, I would just say logical, and now he's just overtly emotional and it's annoying.
Yeah, overly emotional and like protective. I'm like, oh, shut up.
Let's see here. And then we cut back real quick to Victor and Henry in the caves and found out the creatures have moved their camp further into the caves.
Which is weird in itself. Like, why take all the stuff? Like, the clock.
Which you never, I never thought anything about the crap down there until this one. And now, because later on when they do come across them, they have all that shit there. And we find out it's stuff from the people. Yeah. Whether it's they're the people they've killed or what, but they take souvenirs. Is that why the boy in white had Victor go and collect souvenirs from all the people that next morning after the massacre?
Oh, wow. That's pretty smart. I didn't think of that.
Is it something like that?
Well, doesn't he still? He still has the souvenirs, doesn't he?
I know. I'm saying, but so they couldn't go and collect.
Okay, so they couldn't go
because they keep them because they keep them around while they're sleeping. I don't know if it's something that's what they feed off of, or if that's what turns these people into the creatures, or what.
The big plot hole here is how the hell are they moving out that table and the clock through those fucking caves? You know how narrow some of those places are? I'm like, come on now. Well, you see all these like vampire people, moving furniture through caves. It's just the thought of it amuses me.
Well, and as slow as they move, do you think that that's really happening? I think it's just like it's kind of like a teleport thing because
it's gotta be
because they're further in the caves now, and as slow as they move, it would take them more than all night just to get to fucking town.
I know. That's what I was wondering. Like, how they get out of those caves as slow as they move. And they all would always have to crawl. I've never seen any crawl to get out, but I'm sure they do. It's just, but I feel like those tunnels just keep going. I feel like those tunnels are very important. And I really thought, because he was putting those army men down as like a breadcrumb trail. And I really thought something was going to happen. The army men were going to go missing, or they're going to have a hard time getting out or something.
They were going to come in behind him and take his army men so they couldn't get out.
Yes, something was going to happen. I thought something was going to happen, but nothing. They just escaped and went back to his little hideout.
So next we get Ellis and Fatima heading off to go to the ultrasound. And as she's coming down the stairs, Elgin takes her picture for his collage, which ends up being pictures on a fucking string. That's far from a collage. And then this is when Fatima doesn't want Christy. She tells him that she doesn't want Christy to know what's going on ahead of time. And then she asks Boyd, is he coming? She's wanting that comfort from him since he's like the father figure and leader of the place. So.
Yeah, you can see how Boyd was kind of shocked. Like, you want me to see this fucked up baby? All right. I mean, I'll come over.
Next, we get Jade finding the second tree, and old bartender Tom shows up again. Is this his psychosis, or is this the entity making him see it? Like it made Boyd see his wife, like it's made Jim hear his dead son, or is this Jade's brain going crazy?
I think it's the entity, just like how Boyd sees the preacher, and now Jade is seeing bartender
most of them, just aside from the preacher and Tom, those entities that show up are the people, the familiar people that they know are already dead, that show up and speak to them, are usually trying to get them to do bad stuff. But it doesn't seem like the preacher or Tom are trying to get them to do bad things.
No, but it seems like they're trying to like coerce them to not do the stuff they're trying to do. Like, they're trying to get Jade like, hey, what are you doing here? This is stupid. This isn't by design. This wasn't supposed to be here. Or he said someone else put it there. It's not something that whatever
No,
made this place.
he's giving him clues saying this is not something natural. This is not, because nature is by design. This is not by design. This was man-made.
Yeah.
That's giving him a hint and telling him he needs to fucking sober up so he can think clearly. It feels to me, or is it trying to divert him to something else? Or I don't know. I don't know if Tom and the preacher are good or bad yet, because it could just be their mental breaks, and this is like their conscious talking to them, trying to get them to do the right thing. I don't know if it's the entity or not. But yeah, pretty much Tom tells him to get his shit together and be the man that he was when he created this software company that nobody thought was going to be successful. Basically, screw his head on straight. Get back to the Jade he was before this place. And then after that, we come back to Ethan.
Tabitha.
Yeah, Ethan and Tabitha. He heard the fight. And I liked the point that he made to her. A summary to surmise it is things were simpler when they first got there, because to me, your survival is at stake. You're not complacent enough to look at these other issues. You're focused on one goal. Yeah. And then now, as they've gotten there and gotten complacent, it's taken them back to looking at things, focusing on issues instead of just survival. And that's caused them to go back to arguing like before, probably splitting up maybe eventually. Who knows? And then while they're doing this, Tabby hears and ends up seeing the Ankui kids in the house.
I was wondering when we were going to see them again.
Well, you got your answer.
You got my answer. And I was, because, whenever they're talking, we hear footsteps, only Tabitha hears it, but not Ethan. I was like, oh shit. Ethan doesn't hear it. There's something going on upstairs.
Yeah, she's completely freaking, and then Ethan comes and snaps her out of it. And it's just, I don't know, it's just so weird how everything's in these people's minds. But some things are common, like the boy in white, multiple people see. But then
what does that word mean? Agatowi, whatever they're saying. What does that even mean? I Googled it.
And Kui, I don't know.
Yeah, I Googled it. It said it's a fake word made for a show from. I'm like, that doesn't mean nothing. I mean, it's just a made up bullshit word.
And yeah, who knows? Because these kids were obviously chained or tied up. If it's anything like what Jade saw, they're tied up on these slabs looking up at a hole in the friggin' in a cave. And they could be the kids from that settlement, because that is definitely an centuries old kind of settlement. Hell, it might. No, it's not quite Nordic kind of looking stuff, but similar. Who knows? Who knows how far this goes back? But there's something going on with all the dates that Jade keeps finding in all these bottles. Who knows? I
know, and I wonder if they're coordinates.
4-digit coordinates?
Well, not. I mean, like put all the numbers together, like whatever all the numbers together. Maybe they're coordinates. I don't know, but no. Well, because Jay did say the numbers on the other tree were the same as the
because the other one, they're written in cursive, so they're actually written out instead of just numbers.
But I wonder how Victor's mom, was that all her? Because she's the one who did it, at her house and then at the park. We never got to see, what happened at the park or what was in the bottles there. Which I don't know why she wouldn't have looked at that. The first thing she should have did whenever Henry said, "Oh yeah, we got one of those trees in my backyard. Let's go fucking look at the bottles and see what's numbers or see what's inside those bottles."
Tabby and Ethan go to the bar and see Jade freaking out over all these numbers, and that's when he says that some the stuff from the second one are written in cursive, but have the dates match, and then ends up asking Ethan for help, which I thought was kind of weird. But the thing is, I still say there's some kind of tie between Ethan and Victor, Of course, their families, as we've later find out, there's so many similarities. But next, we go back to Randall, and this is where he's talking about being scared, terrified on the bus by himself. And she asked him to move into the clinic. And I don't know. I don't know if they had something going on. I would say no, because it's kind of weird to only hint at it now, this far in.
What happened to learning the creature's methods? That was, I guess, we're not gonna do that no more.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was kind of part of could be why the creatures wanted to drive a wedge between him and Boyd, because of course he's done all the research. He sat there and watched them night after night. He knows their every move and says they're creatures of habit. And Boyd wanted to find out what they did, but now there's that rift between them. He's not going to find out. Randall's not just going to give it up to him. And of course, Boyd feels shame for leaving him out there. So yeah, their communication's not going to happen anytime soon. I don't feel. Definitely, probably not this season.
No, probably not this season.
But now is when we go back to Victor and Henry, and they've found the creature's new camp further deep in the cave. Victor gets Jasper, and
I thought
Henry
for sure it was
also
gonna set off like an alarm or something when he picked up Jasper. I really did.
I know, that was the loudest goddamn thing. His friggin' legs and shit clanking together going into the bag. But then Henry finds a scarf that was Miranda's and starts freaking out, and then it wakes the creatures up, and one of them in the human form.
You know, Victor, if you keep coming down here, one of these days, we'll make you stay.
Further solidifies my theory is there's something with Victor, and that's how he survived. They don't want him. But if he keeps poking around, they're going to get pissed off and start fucking with him. Because how do you make it that long as a child by yourself? I don't see it. There's something they're not after him.
It is really. I wish they would really explore that a lot, some more. But I don't think we're gonna get anything, especially this season.
Of course not. This damn show's MO. They're getting too much like Lost, and I swear to God, if this ends up just being some horse shit, if they wrap it up like Lost, I'm gonna snap.
Well, the creators said they have an actual answer to all the mysteries in this show, not like Lost, is what they said. We'll see.
Oh, they did.
We'll We'll see if they stay true to that.
They better. Then we got Randall moving out of the bus, and Julie comes across him, and she asks about Marielle, and of course, Marielle is acting like nothing ever happened. And then that's when Julie tells him that getting stoned helps clear the stuff. So they go off to get high, and I still stand by it. I don't think it's currently happening. I think this is residual.
You're mad
from when they were locked up, because if it stops when they're stoned, when she's stoned, that tells me it's psychological, not an actual happening event.
I don't know. I think maybe they didn't account for marijuana having an effect on anything this place does. So.
I don't know. Yeah. So that's what the whole thing is. That's the whole plot of this story is marijuana is the magic drug.
Yeah. It
cures all ills, all psychological ills.
It's the best thing of the in the world. No,
I don't know. I still, to me, it seems like it's a psychological thing and not something that's currently happening. Because, if it's happening currently, even just because you introduce a chemical, it's not going to stop. Then we get Victor and Henry running out of the caves to Victor's little hideaway cargo truck. And then, that's when Victor says that the creatures like to take things. And then that's what made me think, well, okay, is that why the boy in white told him to take stuff from the people after that massacre and bury it?
Makes sense. It really does. It does make sense.
Yeah, is that something that it takes to make new creatures? They steal these things and put it in their little cave or something. I don't know. Who knows? But if that's the case, they had his mom's scarf. Wouldn't she have been one of the creatures? So who knows?
What about all
And
the guts? Like,
Christopher.
what do they do when they kill someone? They could always take the guts out. Do they eat the
Yeah.
guts? Like, where are they taking all the guts?
Who the hell knows? I don't know. And then also there's when we learn, well, Victor says that Jasper told a story of this place. And I'm wondering if that's more misdirection. I think a lot of this stuff in this episode is just misdirection on stuff that they've established, or the stuff they've established was misdirection. Who knows?
Well, he said he's going to get him to tell that story. How is he going to get him to tell the story?
Well, exactly. And that's the thing is Henry's like, it's just a toy. And of course, Victor's had all this trauma. Who knows what he actually saw?
I think Jasper is going to be like, I think he's going to start talking. I really do. I think with the next couple episodes, he's going to tell his story. Or maybe it's not him talking. Maybe it's something talking through him. Like maybe there's just, kind of like how Thomas is talking.
Or
to
maybe
Jim,
it was just a boy's imagination.
I don't think so. Like as much as they've seen, all the crazy shit they've seen, you think that's the craziest thing? Is Jasper talking?
No, but it's kind of silly.
Kind of gives me goosebump vibes.
Because speaking of misdirection, that leads us right back in the next scene where they're doing the ultrasound. And what do they find in the ultrasound?
Nothing.
Not a damn thing. Which, okay, Marielle is supposed to be a fucking peds nurse. And Christy looks in the uterus. That is it. There's ectopic pregnancies where it's not in the uterus, it's stuck in a fallopian tube. And they actually said that's the only place to look. Or there's nowhere else to look. Of course there is. You could check the fucking fallopian tubes, lady. But
maybe she doesn't know that. I mean, I didn't know that. So,
oh, you don't know? Okay, I just thought that was common knowledge. But, anyways, is this more misdirection? Because of course we've already established she couldn't get pregnant. It happened in this place. Tom already said this place isn't natural. Nothing makes sense here because everything's just all out of whack. Could this thing be gestating somewhere else other than the uterus? Because I don't know why in the hell Harold Perrineau would say that this baby is bizarre. Why
she's definitely pregnant. It's just some reason it's not showing up on this thing.
Yeah, because that's why I say on to more misdirection. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen to this.
Yeah, you may be onto something with the whole misdirection because, like, you're right. This whole episode is nothing but a bunch of misdirection. But I do think there is some sprinkles of, truth in the episode.
Yeah, I don't know. Because that makes, because why would he have that quote that he told was it Radio Times? Because I went back and looked at it again and I was like, yeah, okay, is this publication bullshit? And I looked it up. No, it's a straight up British kind of not really. Well, yeah, I guess kind of like news publication, but it's not a bogus site or BS site. Whether they're exaggerating his quote or misquoting him, I don't know. But why would he say something about Fatima's baby and being bizarre and about the cravings and everything if there's not going to be a baby?
Well, there's going to be a baby. It's just kind of like you said, it's just misdirection. Is all it is. There's definitely gonna be a baby. Maybe it's in her chest. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna burst
like
out
a
of her.
friggin' like an alien chest burster.
Like an alien chest burster. I don't know. Maybe Fatima dies this season too. Maybe she dies after giving birth to whatever this thing is, or maybe it rips her way out of her too. Who knows? Like who knows what's really gonna happen in this season with Fatima and this devil child.
Yeah, I don't know. And then speaking of Fatima, we get cut over now to Elgin, and he sees the kimono lady in Fatima's picture, and then the kimono lady appears beside him, saying that she can save them all and help him get back home. And is this
Sarah all over again?
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing we didn't see Sarah at all in this episode.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
No mention of her even.
At.
So who knows? But it ends with back at the bar with Jade and Ethan working on trying to find a pattern. And Tabby ends up coming across a drawing of the totems. And then it's let out that Miranda's not the only one that had a connection to this place before they got there, that she had dreams of that totem area and the 3 red rocks when she was a kid.
Yeah, which is pretty convenient.
Which, being the age that Victor was when he got there and Tabitha's age, was she having these dreams about the place the same time that Miranda was?
Huh. Very interesting.
Because he said he's been there for what, like 30 years?
Yeah.
And if she was a small child, because I assume she's late 30s now, maybe early 40s, it could have been about the same time she was having these dreams Miranda was too.
Yeah, maybe. That's pretty good.
Who knows? They just give you information and give you no answers.
Yeah,
that's the fucking MO of this damn show. But I'm still hooked. But me being such a control freak and wanting to know how everything works it's so frustrating to not have an idea.
All right, guys. Well, that's our thoughts and theories for their episode 6 of From. Still pretty good. We're getting closer to the ending here, so hopefully we get some more answers in the next coming episodes. But thank you for watching. Peace out.